Right, greetings fellow yogis. Here's a little video that I promised just to keep things fresh in your mind, stop you getting into any bad habits, and hopefully give you a little bit more motivation to keep going. Mike, excellent work, straight on the mat, that's what I like to see. The rest of you boys, I don't know if you were on the mat or not. If not, let's try and get on there. 1 or 2 sun salutations, give it a whirl, right? So I'll go over one, talking through it, just to remind you of the different things. I've thought of a couple of different kind of alterations you can do if you start getting tired or whatever. And then I'll talk through a little bit more about downward dog and what have you. Okay, so remember, feet are together, front of the mat, feet are always together. We're relaxed but engaged, the spine is nice and straight, the shoulders are back, the arms are engaged but loose, looking straight forward, and then we start breathing in, arms come up, look into the palms, breathing out. Remember, like I said, you can fold forward like that if it's right on your back, or you can have the arms down behind you for less leverage. Hands onto your shins and coming down, trying to keep the back straight. When you get as far as you can go, you can just try and roll over a little bit. And then rather than coming up as we did last night, just come up very slightly and just straighten the back and lift the head. So you're looking straight forward, trying to keep that back nice and straight. So that's breathing in. Then breathing out, we're bending down, putting our hands next to our feet, bending the knees, stepping back. Try and get into the habit of stepping back with your right foot first. Okay, right foot first, back with the other foot. Feet are at the back of the mat, so they're hip width apart, just a natural hip width apart. Your arms are straight, vertically down, so all the weight's going straight through your skeleton. Your hands are nice and wide, fingers spread, pointing forwards. Okay, then you drop yourself down, and you're aiming to be hovering on the ground here, or just above the ground. Now, like we said, you can, if that's too much, come onto your knees, bring yourself down, and if you start getting tired, too tired, then put your whole stomach on the floor. Okay, that's no problem. But try as much as you can to keep yourself off the ground, even if it is with the knees. Okay, then we're breathing in, and you're pushing yourself forward, and you're trying to roll over your toes to sort of push your hips forward, keeping the legs nice and strong, so your thighs are engaged, shoulders are back, head comes up. Okay, so it's a nice strong pose. You'll find you can put your knees on the ground, but if your legs are weak and you're not keeping your legs strong, your lower back's going to tend to dip down, you're going to put strain on your lower back. Okay, so try and keep the legs strong, hips pushing forward, shoulders pushing back, your heart pushing up, like that. Now into downward dog. If you're on your knees, you can come up like that, alley with your toe, like we said, and just pull the feet over. Otherwise, you're pushing back from the arms and the shoulders, like that, rolling over the toes at the same time, lifting the hips. Okay. Now, you won't be coming up with your legs straight like that. Remember, like we said, keep your hands where they are, bring your feet forward a bit, bum up in the air, and try and imagine that straight line from the small of your back down to your shoulders, down to your arms, your hips. If you're doing this, try and roll the shoulders out, and then tilting that pelvis. Remember, I was tilting your pelvis like that, so you're trying to stick the top of your bum up in the air, nice straight back and arms, and then pushing those heels down towards the floor. And 5 breaths here. And there you can really start working quite hard. You know, remember, your Achilles and everything, they're strong. They're very tight, but they're strong. So really push down and feel that burn. 5 breaths here. On the last exhale, you look forward. You can bend the knees again. Remember, we said you can jump, but you guys, if you can do 1 step, or like we were saying, you can walk yourself up. Hands on the shins and coming up, so that's breathing in. Breathing out again, we're just going down. Breathing in, we come up, look to the palms. Breathing out, hands back by the side. Okay, so there's that sun salutation. I'll do another one now, just with a count. Okay, so I'll just say breathe in, breathe out, and then when I'll actually be in downward dog, and try and do a sun salutation, breathing as I'm counting. Okay, so breathe in, breathe out. And see how that rhythm works for you. And what you want to find eventually is your own natural rhythm of breathing. You know, you'll find that. It'll be fast initially because you're getting tired. Okay? But that's one way that you can change the speed of the practice, is to physically say, right, I'm going to breathe faster today, or I'm going to breathe slower. But always trying to keep that rhythm. And remember, we're not going up and holding it and then we're going down. It's a constant flow, just the same as your breath, in and out, up and down. Okay? So, feet together, on the mat, standing straight. Try and take what they say, this is a posture, so do 5 breaths just standing here and feeling how the skeleton is, feeling the ground. So do 5 breaths there. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. That's 3, but here we go, okay? So we're breathing in, arms come up, palms touch. We're breathing out, we're folding forward, hands down the shin. Breathing in, we're just coming up slightly, straighten the back. Breathing out, hands down to the ground, stepping back, still breathing out, chaturanga. Breathing in, hips come forward, shoulders go back. Breathing out, rotating back into downward dog. So we're breathing in, we're breathing out, 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 and we're looking forward, bending the knees, stepping or walking forward as we breathe in, hands on the shins, looking forward. Breathe out, stretching down again, head down slightly. Breathing in as we come up, look at the palms. Breathing out, and we're back to the beginning again. Okay? It's a bit difficult for me to judge the speed when I'm talking and not breathing, but that felt quite fast. But like I think you found yesterday, if you went too slow, you were out of breath before you'd actually finished the movement. Yeah, so faster is probably a bit better. And you do, let's say, 2 like Mike did, or 3 or 4 or 5, and do them quickly. You'll definitely have a sweat on, because remember, you're still holding the belly, stopping yourself going to the pee, and you're trying to make that sound with your breathing. Okay? What else? We've done the upward dog. So the downward dog, right. If you find yourself, once you're in downward dog, yeah, and your legs are bent, you're straight. Remember, you're not trying to be over your hands here, you're trying to have that straight line from the back. So you're really going to try and push yourself back with the shoulders, keep the shoulders rotated out, okay, and then straighten the back and push the heels down. Now, if you're here, and you will, you're going to find yourself getting the old burning, stretching sensation in the hamstrings and whatever. You also, your shoulders might be getting tired. If you start feeling, if you start vibrating, you think, oh, I can't make it, then just come down to your hands and knees. Take the weight off your shoulders and just sit back on your heels a bit. Take a breath or a couple of breaths and then come back up into it and try and finish your 5 breaths, okay, before you then walk yourself forward. If you want to, and don't push yourself, but if you feel your back is feeling nice and strong, if there's any kind of, it feels a little bit funny, then don't attempt these jumps, okay? But, as we said, you're looking forward, bending the knees, and jumping the feet forward into between your hands, okay? Same thing on the way back. When you're down here, or you're down here, you've come down with your hands either side, okay? And then you just kind of, remember, you're holding the belly, you're trying to lift your hips up and jump your feet back. Okay? Or it might be that you think, well, I can just jump them back to there, and then I can walk them back a bit. Okay? And down we go again. So, I think that's about everything. Other than, you want to get yourself some nice natty spandex shorts, obviously. Because I know you'll love that. Alright, if you've got any questions, just ask the teacher, send them an email. And yeah, enjoy your practice, and remember, it's just practice. There is no good, there is no bad. As Yoda said, something about only doing. I don't know. Anyway, enjoy, fellas.